Again, Jesus spoke to them, saying, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. Pharisees said to him, You are bearing witness about yourself. Your testimony is not true. Jesus answered, Even if I do bear witness about myself, my testimony is true. For I know where I came from and where I am going, but you do not know where I come from or where I am going. You judge according to the flesh. I judge no one. Yet, even if I do judge, my judgment is true, for it is not I alone who judge, but I and the Father who sent me. In your law it is written that the testimony of two people is true. I am the one who bears witness about myself, and the Father who sent me bears witness about me. They said to him, therefore, Where is your Father? Jesus answered, You know neither me nor my Father. If you knew me, you would know my Father also. These words he spoke in the treasury as he taught in the temple, but no one arrested him because his hour had not yet come. It's so interesting that he's saying this to the religious people. He's not, when he's talking to the people here, I mean, he's talking to the Pharisees. And when you think about the Pharisees are the people that, they know the Bible. They're the religious people. They're upset that Jesus is making these claims like, how are you saying that you're a God? How are you saying that you're all these things? You need another witness. And when we look at the law of evidence, the Jewish law of evidence, you need two witnesses. Right? And the Jewish people, what they're doing is they're looking at their culture, they're looking at what the religion says, and says, Jesus needs to be confined to this. Jesus needs to be limited to this. The Messiah, no, he's got to stay in this box. And we do that with Christianity. We do this with our walk with God too. We think the ideal Christian needs to be this. No, I got to do this. I can't do that. We create this ideal sense of what a Christian is. And sometimes it's true. Like, yeah, Christians should read the Bible. A Christian should pray. Christians should live a moral life. But we come up with this system of shoulds. We come up with this system of, I'm not enough to make that should. And we start to be condemned. Rather than this book becoming a book of life, this book becomes a book of rules. But that's not what the light's supposed to do. That's not what the light only does. Because let's look at verse 15, and this is Jesus talking to the Pharisees. You judge according to the flesh. I judge no one. And yes, God is judge. And at the end of the day, God is going to have to judge sin. And that is a part of who he is. And we see it. He talks about the Father also being a judge. But when he says, I judge no one, what he's saying is, before I judge you, I love you. Jesus doesn't condemn you. The reality is that before God will ever judge you, he will love you. Yes, in his mercy, he can reveal to you your sin. Yes, in his great kindness and compassion, he will reveal to you your brokenness. But it's never to leave you in that place. But it's to show you, you're a sinner, but I love you. A lot of us, we get into this mentality of I'm not a good enough Christian. When we see the light, all we see is something that's going to make us feel like the worst of the worst. But you're not supposed to stay there. When you step into the light, yeah, it might be a little painful at first. It's going to suck that you have to deal with the fact that you got some major issues in your heart. But what you have to understand is that God doesn't want us to stay there. He's never intended for us to stay there. But God wants you to live in freedom in the light, because in the light you have life.